Hi there. We all love stories about unexpected heroes, and not just those where a stranger runs into a burning building to save a baby. He or she might even be a professional, a firefighter, a soldier, someone who is trained for many hours, even years, for just that one moment. So here's a question. Does preparing for danger make them less heroic? Courage is a part of what makes us human, whether dealing with a crash or going into the darkness. The unknown has risk. Columbus didn't fear falling off the edge of the earth. He just sailed 3 times into the unknown. Other explorers followed to fill in the maps of the new world. The age of discovery that Chris started had the first flight into the sky. In 1783, Louis XVI, Benjamin Franklin, and a crowd of Parisians watched a hot air balloon fly 2 miles. Pilatre de Rosier and the Marquis d'Erlon. Try saying that 3 times fast. They clocked in at 4 miles an hour. Wow! The inventors of the hot air balloon, the Montgolfier Brothers, worried that their crew would die from altitude, not falling. So they first sent up an animal team, a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. By the way, that choice of animals was smart. Sheep were thought to have physiology similar to people. Ducks flew high and roosters low, so they were the experimental controls. Mechanized flight came in 1903 after the Wright Brothers spent 5 years flying kites, building the first wind tunnel, and testing a series of gliders. At Kitty Hawk, Orville flew 120 feet at 6 miles an hour. Wow! Later that same day, Wilbur flew 860 feet, shattering his brother's world record. 54 years later, a beach ball-sized Sputnik circled the Earth. Its beeps were heard as we can nuke you and you can't do anything about it. The USSR space race was on. The USSR pulled further ahead when a modest hero named Yuri Gagarin became the first man to orbit the Earth. He was only 5'2", which is proof that good things come in small packages. They prepared for his launch by sending up a series of animals and even a full-size dummy named Ivan Ivanovich. Another, by the way, Sputnik 2 put the first dog into space. Americans nicknamed her Mutnik, but her name was Laika. She'd been astray on the streets of Moscow. Sadly, she died up there. At the time, the US was trying to literally fly into space. The titanium-clad X-15 almost did that, getting up to 250,000 feet, 50 miles up. The sky above the pilot's canopy was jet black, except for the millions of stars that were shining. The information from the 199 X-15 flights would later help the engineers who would design the SR-71, the Blackbird, and the space shuttle. The X-15 was dropped by a B-52 bomber. It ignited its engines and took off like a bullet, twice as fast as a bullet. 4,500 miles per hour, Mach 6.7. That's New York to Paris in 45 minutes. Returning from a flight, the pilot, and there were only 12, including Neil Armstrong, would land his rocket-powered dart in California's Edwards Air Force Base. That was home. But, and there's always a but, NASA ultimately decided not to use wings to fly up to and return from space. The technology wouldn't be there till the space shuttle. Instead, 1, 2, or 3 brave men got strapped atop the Mercury, Gemini, or Apollo rockets. Each of their flights got us a little bit closer to the goal of landing on the moon. The practical lesson is that taking planned steps, even when you're trying something revolutionary, is a good idea. Before they sent the balloon up with people, they wanted to see if it would fly by itself. Later, they tested it with animals. The Wright Brothers' 1,000 glider flights not only improved their technology, it made them the world's best airplane pilots. The Air Force declared Chuck Yeager's breaking the sound barrier in 1947 in a Bell X-1 to be a top secret. But the X's kept on coming. 14 later, you get to the X-15. The test of Apollo 1 cost the lives of Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee. God rest their souls. Missions 2 to 7 set up Apollo 8 to go around the moon. Then 9 and 10 got us closer. Apollo 11 landed, and with one footstep, it unified all of humankind.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
That justified all the steps, all the preparation that led to that wonderful historic event.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Alas, by the way, the future continues to get built. In New Mexico, 27 square miles of land is now Spaceport America. It's there to land planes from space, from Virgin Atlantic and SpaceX, and we'll see who else goes there. I am Mike for the Be More Better team. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. I don't want to talk about my weight. I gained 4 pounds since the last video. I can't make this up. Please comment, like, subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't, but always, always be more better. Body, mind, and spirit. And then be even more better when you help someone take their next step. And now a shout out to Amber and Marvin, and especially Morristown's Market Street Mission. It does great work. This has been a pleasure. Until the next one. Bye now. I am Mike for the BMB.